So yeah, we have a sense of humor here in the Nut and Fancy project still. And I gotta tell you what, dudes, I need it more than ever for the guns I've been testing. Yeah, I mean, I have literally right now, I have probably 15 gun reviews which are complete, ready to upload as soon as the audience can catch up. And you will see exactly what I'm talking about, needing a sense of humor. Some have not done so great. I will talk about that to some extent here tonight. And back to the intro, ridiculous or otherwise, yeah, that's a POF on the table. The first time Patriot Ordnance Factory has made an appearance here in TMP. Never before. Each review is its own creature for sure, but there is a body of philosophy that weaves through all the reviews. And I kind of expect the subscribers, the audience, if they don't subscribe, a lot of people do that. They watch, don't sub. I wish they would, but some don't. But those who watch all the videos, I kind of expect them to know the philosophy of kind of how things go. It makes it shorter, very interesting actually. And one of the things I'll intro with is POF and why it has not made an appearance here in the project, at least to this point. That's pretty much because of SAWC. And for me, second cool appearance. I, in years past, really didn't dig the way POFs looked. I thought they had big bulbous forends, kind of like this one does. We'll talk about that. And I just didn't dig them. You know, too heavy, goofy looking, maybe a little bit too street looking for me, if you know what I'm talking about. I didn't really dig them. And so I didn't give them airtime. Things have changed at POF, and maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Depends on you guys, really. What else shows up here? We'll see. The competition is fierce, though. I mean, it is so fierce. There's so many great ready-made guns, both in 5.56 and also my very favored 308 caliber. Officially, this is 7.62 but you know what I'm saying. Going back to that philosophy, if you have been watching the vids, especially my AR-10 style of reviews, M&P10, just got done with that one. On the top is the Daniel Defense DD V5V1. That will be, and actually has been reviewed separately. I'll post somewhere around here. You'll see it. But if you watch those, you know 308 caliber for me is really a favorite. I just love it when I can take it. It hits hard. We're kind of jumping in a super quick discussion of philosophy of use. Defeats obstacles, decent long range performance. I can go out and buy 500 rounds of 308 ball at my local gun store. You know, try to do that with some of the boutique calibers. Good luck. I think it's reasonably priced for what it does. Seriously. 7.62 51 is awesome, man. It's really cool. It's not the best long range. It's not the most powerful. For everything taken into account, especially value and performance, it's a favorite. And so it kind of dawned on me, well, I need to put some more 308, these aren't really battle rifles, but AR-10 style rifles in the playlist. And that's why I went out, got the POF. This is a P308 again. Thanks to the dude at the top. Thank you for helping me out. Awesome. Otherwise, it probably would not be sitting on the table, and you wouldn't be watching this review because it wouldn't exist. This is an interesting gun, by the way. Speaking of a sense of humor, it's odd in some ways, and through testing, I was scratching my head and go, WTH, man, what's going on with this gun? In another way, it totally surprised me, and I was like very, very, very impressed with it. In fact, and I'm not going to tell you what exactly I'm talking about. I want you to watch the whole dang video. I'll tell you as we go along here. We're going to cover the features. I'll try to make it quick. I don't think this is going to be feature length because I'm ripping through these. You know, I'm just kind of paring it down, making it more streamlined, commensurate with audience support, which is the reality now. That's the way it is. The question I'm going to pose to you, though, is just considering these two guns. So we got a DD V5V1 on the top, again reviewed separately, and then we have the POF P308. Which of these two guns would you think I would prefer? And we'll get back to that. It may be surprising to you, and then again it may not. I don't know. And which would you prefer? I know you guys will say it in the comments. I'll be interested to kind of skim through the comments and see what guys are saying. Both are pretty expensive. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. So they're both, and I'm talking retail, going to be right around $2,800, both of the guns on the table. And this is not really meant to be a face-off video. I'm not intending it to be that way at all. The only reason I have that is because it's going to get returned soon back to its owner, and it's here. And I've thrown the M&P10 on the table frequently. It's just kind of eye candy, and it creates an interesting question like I just mentioned. So this is the P308 Gen 4 is my understanding. They have a skirmish model. You can go on their website, check that out. It's a little bit different. It does come, this one is kind of in the, you know, the gray finish. MP3, I think it is. And then they have a black, or actually this might be the tungsten, burnt bronze, and then they have MP3. So it is available in different flavors, the P308. We kind of hit on POU already with the caliber, and I've mentioned it a lot before. It's super, super quick. I'll just say team rifle. I would have to say no on this one. I'll tell you why here in a little bit. WROL, I'd probably say no again on this one. Recreational, absolutely. I would do it. Hunting, yes, I would do that. Anti-pirate, yeah, I probably would on that. And you're probably wondering why I'm kind of saying yes, no, yes, no. It'll become apparent as we go, because we got to kind of dig into the details, which we're going to do right now. SAWC design and ergos. A lot of dudes like how I'm organizing the tabletops. They kind of know what to expect coming up. They know what points are going to hit. And by doing it that way, they can compare against other guns, like the DD V5V1 in the background. The first thing I want you to know about this gun, which is an oddity, which kind of drives to some of the points I said earlier on the philosophy of use, yay and nay, is it's too damn heavy. It's heavy. It has a billet receiver for sure. I think it's 6000 series aluminum, probably is. And that adds a lot of weight. We have kind of a ventilated channel, big barrel nut here, a big fat handguard, that adds weight. The barrel profile itself is relatively thick. Naked, get this, with a 20 round mag, and I think it was this Magpul one, 9 pounds 13 ounces. Let's just dwell on that weight a little bit. That's without optics, without mount, without ammunition, 9 pounds 13 ounces. And it's not on the table, but I got to hit it again. My M&P10 with mount, with optics, with magazine is just over 9 pounds. And that's with a magnified optic, not a reflex or red dot sight. That is the long range M&P10 setup we have, set up for 1/68. So 9 pounds for a 308 rifle, 18-inch barrel. This one's a 16-inch barrel, which we'll talk about right now, actually. I do not doubt that the barrel is high quality. It's 16.5 officially. I don't like that POF is not offering, neither is DD for that matter, an 18-inch option, which I think is the best SAPR option. That's my own acronym. It stands for Semi-Automatic Precision Rifle. It's a 7.6251 chambering and a gun that's very accurate, semi-automatic, can lay down some very accurate rapid firepower. I call it SAPR. The best barrel length that I think, and actually this applies for an SPR as well, is 18-inch. That's just me. I think most people say 16 all day long with a 308. Okay, cool. I've talked about, that's part of that philosophy I've talked about. That's echoed in multiple reviews over the last few years here. 5R polygonal rifling, hammer forged is the barrel on here. Again, here's the profile. You can take a look-see. And while you're looking, you'll notice this is not a DI gun. It is a, I shouldn't say standard, but it's a POF piston gun. They are doing DI now. They've joined the bandwagon on DI, which I talked about before. I've always loved DI. I don't dislike piston at all. I just want it to be accurate and reliable and lightweight. And then we've established already this is not light. That might be another reason. So you have a big old chunk of metal up here. You do have adjustable gas system here. Normal. You have suppressor setting and off up in there. Again, looking at the barrel profile. Fluted all the way down. I love the fluting on it. Yeah, so that's that. And then this is their, I think their proprietary muzzle device. Did it work? Where should I put this? I'll put it right here because I said something negative about this short stroke piston POF 7.6251 chambering, and that was the weight. It not only worked, it amazed me how soft shooting this gun was. And before you jump on the bandwagon of weight, because you could go down that path and go, well, it's because it's so heavy. And yeah, it is heavy. Heavier guns recoil less. That's standard. Everyone knows that. It's just physics. There's something more to it. And if it's, you know, the muzzle device, the way they've done the piston system, this thing shot like a 223. That's one of those things that super struck me, is like, it kind of blew my mind. I'm out in the desert shooting this, especially after shooting the DD5 up here. I went from that to this, and it was like night and day. This is like shooting an AR-15. Amazing. I mean, it was just not probably, but by a large margin, it is the smoothest shooting AR-10 style rifle that I've shot to date, and that includes the M&P10. I'm running a Battle Comp 7.62 on the M&P10. That helps, but it ain't like this. And so I did say, you notice in the philosophy of use, recreational, just shooting for fun, maybe competition. This is a really fun gun to shoot, the POF 308. I mean, it is just, I mean, you're coming away just going, I can't believe this is a 308. It's just so smooth. And, you know, is it the triple port break up here? That helps, but there's more going on. It's the way they've tuned the system, the way the BCG perhaps is recoiling. It's just, I have to give kudos to POF for doing such a smooth shooting gun. Dude, and I'll jump ahead here, if they just shaved 2 pounds off this, that's a lot to ask, by the way. 2 pounds, they'd have to get super creative, put a completely different front end on it. And there's something else they need to improve. If they did that, I would probably buy one. Not probably, I would. Because it dominated that in smoothness. The DD could not even hold a candle to it. So well done, POF. I mean, it's nice. Not so well done is again the fat forend. It's like a freaking bat. It's very thick. Yeah, I mean, you guys dig it? I ain't digging. M-lock. You know, what do they call this? This is their proprietary. They call it MRR. Handguard on it. And you see the attachment system here. In this review over here, I criticized DD for putting four big bolts in a heavy attachment system. I did say this could add weight, but you know, I didn't take everything apart. I don't care enough to do that, and I don't think you guys do either. But it'd be interesting to see which is the lightest attachment method. Not the guards, but just how they're attaching here. I think this is plenty strong. It was in my testing, although I wasn't like doing armored vehicle dismounts and engaging insurgents with it. So who knows? I mean, sometimes really extended rugged testing reveals flaws, but it didn't rotate on me. It's a cool attachment system. It's cool. Again, not DI. Piston. Some of you guys will totally dig it. And coming back here to the receiver, this, by the way, is serial number 00061. So you might look for that in certain places. It will be the TMP test gun, in case you're wondering. Mostly ambidextrous control, so lefties, although it does eject to the right, you could run it in a pinch. Jardine's a lefty. He runs right-handed guns all the time. I don't hear him complain too much. He likes it. Anti-walk pins in there, standard. So we got our right-mounted safety. We got magazine release, left and right, of course. Integrated trigger guard, because it is a billet receiver. Speaking of that philosophy, what do I always say about billet, dudes? If you guys have been watching, you'll know that I'm not generally a fan of it. And the reason is exactly what I've been saying here. It's too heavy. It adds weight. And I don't think it's necessary. I think a forged receiver is plenty good. I don't need special features, milling on the front. I don't need a big flared magwell. I will say this, going back to POU, that if you're a competitor, you might need a billet receiver because a flared magwell would be important to you. The weight, the additional weight is probably a good thing. It settles the gun down, and that's probably a good application for the P308, a competition gun. For a heavy caliber class, I think it would really rock, actually, because it, like I said, it's so fast and smooth. Oh my gosh, it was excellent. So that's that. The trigger is actually pretty decent. Let's pull it right now. This one's pulling 5.9. I thought the trigger was fine on this. It seemed excellent in the field. I didn't mind it at all. It pulls good, really clean. I love their choice of furniture in the back. So we got MOE in the back. Got a CTR over here. I actually prefer the MOE in the rear as a rear buttstock, or even more so the MFT by Mission First Tactical. Super lightweight. It's not as strong as the Magpul components, or the buttstocks I should say, but it's pretty good. Mil-spec tube, no staking of the castle nut. And let me say this, I really don't care. I think the interweb goes on, at least they used to, I don't even know now. I never do forums. But I mean, this you just go on and on. Oh, it's got to be properly staked. And I was like, no, it doesn't, because I might want to change this. If it's staked and pinned, and then I've got to like, I've done this multiple times, trying to take it off, it's just a nightmare. You never know when you want to exchange something, even the buffer tube. You might. Just saying. I like it. Pick and tinny rail on the top. Riding on top of this is just a review scope. It's running in a LaRue LT104, I think, and that's a burst 1-inch tube. It's a decent scope. It's nothing like amazing. I'm actually upgrading our optics a little bit because I get tired of the 1-inch tube, because when I'm shooting long range, I'll run out of come-ups unless this actually has some MOA built into it. I think 15 MOA on this one. Okay, so here we got some emblazoned logo on here. I said in another review of a pistol, I just don't like it. I don't need "In God We Trust" or, you know, "Long Live America" or "Go Troops" anywhere on my gun. I just don't like it. I just think it's patronizing, dude. I don't need it on my gun. I don't know how you guys are, you know, maybe you guys love it and you totally dig it. I hate it. I don't want any of that on my gun. Not that I don't feel that way. Dude, I'm 21-year retired military. I fought every war that came my way. I'm, you know, extremely patriotic. I just don't need a bunch of shit on my gun, you know, trying to scream to the world how patriotic I am. Rant complete. Taking it apart. This is impressive right here. The quality is impressive, and this are NP3 coated. The reason I say that, so like I'm so kind of flabbergasted by it, because I peeled open the DD V5V1 and it looked like matte chrome, and they're saying that it was also the same, and I was like, I don't think so. You can tell it's kind of got a gray appearance, and it's super slick. Note the roller cam pin that they have here. That is a proprietary feature of Patriot Ordnance Factory. Pretty cool. They'll talk about how smooth that is, how it minimizes wear within the upper. You can take a look at this part of the bolt. They have an anti-tilt feature back here. There's your charging handle. God, I hate taking guns apart on here. It's going to get my... I just did it. Freaking greased it up right there. Table all dirty. Hey, put something down. Yeah, I should. There's your charging handle. It's small. I would like to put in a different charging handle, especially with optics. That's me. Also in the POF, and this is not just for the P308, it's all their 5.56 ones, is the E2 extraction technology, as they call it. And I can't show you in there. I'll just roll in a screenshot or something. So it's basically a channeled receiver that supposedly helps break the seal for better extraction. You know, does it do it? Let me tell you this. It has 0 jams, if I'm remembering right. I mean, I tested a bunch of guns at the same time. And so that's why I always say if I remember it right. Because sometimes I'm like, well, you know, was it this gun, that gun? I think this thing was 100%, dudes. Including steel-cased ammo. What? Yeah, steel-cased ammo. I'm going to show you the trigger real quick. Right there. That modular trigger. And then, by the way, let's check our fit and wiggle here. So there is some wiggle, but I don't know if you guys noticed. Check this out. I love this about the P308. It has adjustment screws here. So you can tension up the receiver to totally lock it up tight. So all you do is get your little Allen head, back those out. You don't need an AccuWedge. Although I will say AccuWedges work just fine. I have in several rifles, and they'll tighten up the upper and lower fit all day long. That's kind of cool, though. That's a nice upscale feature. And we were talking about steel. You probably thought I forgot. Nope. It was 100% with steel. That's an achievement. And let me go back to this gun here. That one sucked with steel. It was horrible. I mean, it was basically a single shot with steel. The DD5. And no doubt on that review, people are going to say, well, you shouldn't shoot steel. It's a premium gun. You need to run premium ammo. And I have 4 digits for you. Actually, 3 digits and a letter. P308. Take that. How about M&P10? Take that. How about M1A? Take that. All work with steel. Pretty good. occasionally, because it's ammo, you know, steel's not that great. I'm not saying that. It's crap. It challenges a gun. It challenges a SAPR. But a well put together and well regulated gas-wise AR-10 rifle should have no problem running steel. This one didn't. It did awesome, man. I did forget to tell you the barrel is 4150 steel if you care. There are probably 5 billion pages, I'm exaggerating of course, on the different steel types for barrels as guys rail on each other about which one's best and what you should have. Honestly, I don't think it matters that much for the amount of rounds the high majority of dudes put through their guns, which is basically nothing unless you're a competitor. Or unless, I don't know, you shoot a lot for whatever reason, whatever job you have. But with 308, you might need to be sponsored. It's expensive. I said that in that review. The guys were reviewing this gun going, oh yeah, we ran 175, one gold medal match through our DD V5V1. It ran just great. Well, no shit. It should run great with gold medal match, man. In other words, a round that you probably will never have stored up. You probably never have more than 40 rounds with, because it's, I don't know, what is that, like 40, 45 bucks a box? Maybe more. That great ammo. No argument from me, but dude, no thanks. Firepower. Let's move on. 20 rounds standard, which is good. I'm actually not standard because, and I'm looking if I have it on the table. I don't. They make a 25 rounder mag pull, which I said in that review, I have noticed in the desert with steel rounds, when it gets dirty, I've had some delayed feedings with those mags. This is a Brownell's 20, this is a DPMS 20, and these have been good. Mostly. I have seen these choke once in a while, not in cold weather, generally when they get super dirty. And they might be gun specific, the Brownell 20s. So run them in the gun, and I think I ran all three of these mags in the POF 308, liked them all. But you might have to experiment. And it's funny because an AR-10 style rifle is a completely different animal than an AR-15. It's a lot of gas to deal with. Ask my wife; she has the same problem with me. There's that sense of humor again, and it's a lot of recoil, and it wears components more. It's different, and so I've been surprised through the years on some 308s that did not run so good. Yeah, kind of like that one at the top. Track record. POF, I think, has a discussion there where they ran multi-thousands of rounds through their P308s, up to 36K, I think, with no failures. Well, other than some minor parts being replaced, like op rod, spring buffer, ejector, gas piston, buffer spring. That kind of sounds like to me all the parts, all the small parts had to be repaired or replaced. But I don't fault that at all. That's a lot of rounds, and I think that's just appropriate. That's normal wear and tear. I don't think you should ask any more from an AR-10 style rifle at all. Let's go to accuracy. And this is where, we kind of fall off a cliff a little bit, and I scratched my head, and I was perplexed. So I'm shooting the POF, and this is at a range, so for a change, I'm not in the desert. I'm on a concrete table, and this is what I got. I shot some wolf. Actually, that's pretty dang good for wolf. That's weird that it's strung vertically here and horizontally here, and I shot these rounds, I thought, pretty good. PMC was awful. And I've shot PMC, and PMC usually out of a good gun will shoot within 2 inches with a really good gun. And if you don't believe me, just watch my other reviews of other 308s. You'll see that. I'm not going to roll them in here. Go look at the videos. Remington 180 grain soft point shot okay. Remember I said the hunting philosophy of use? That's what I'm talking about. That's decent accuracy for hunting. Unless you're one of these guys that want to go long range with your shots. I don't recommend it, and I don't like it. And I'm not a hunter, but I think doing a long range shot, I don't know. That's part of that philosophy again. Bring it in close, make sure you hit it. I've talked to a lot of dudes that went long range, ended up wounding the animal, and a lot of them in rugged country never recover the animal. I mean, you're freaking 500, 600 yards away. You got to go that far just to start your blood trail tracking. Same round. That was actually a pretty good group. Let's go faster. By the way, I did record some GoPro footage with this. That whole SD card dumped, so I don't have it. You're just going to have to look at my ugly hands. And by the way, the watch for this review is the S&E I think 109. Dang, I forgot. It's a Seiko solar powered dive watch. I just reviewed it. Yeah, S&E 109. Sick. I love that watch. So look at Hertenberger, dudes. What? That's a good round. I mean, it should have shot really well. I mean, by really well, I say within 2 inches at 100 yards, 2 MOA. There is hope because American Eagle shot into that group. And once I saw that group, I was like, okay. So the gun is capable of good accuracy. Maybe it's going to be super ammo specific. And by the way, I didn't mean to roll in an accuracy target for Wolf. That was kind of an accident. I ran out of other rounds, higher end rounds is what I'm saying. So I really would have liked to shoot gold medal match. I didn't have them that day. And again, with the way things go here in TMP, I'm not going back. It's just, this gives you a good idea. Hornady 168 grain, that shot poorly. Remington Corlocks soft point shot poorly. XM80 shot about the way I'd expect it. Federal XM80 white box. So that's pretty good. So I come away thinking I'll rate the accuracy from my own shooting as about, I don't know, fair to good. Here's what I think though. I think if you spent more time with it and again found loads that it liked, I think you could bring it to about 1.5 MOA. It is a piston gun. It's not a DI gun. I'll just say that. It ain't. It is what it is, bro. So I was disappointed. But that was the range testing. Let me reiterate. A lot of times there's a disconnect in the project. When I take something to the range, I come away from that session, like I did with the P308, and I go, this gun is very unimpressive to me. It's super heavy. It's not shooting accurate. And then I take it out on the KTM. We go out freaking 2.5 hours into the desert. I'm popping out there, and I'm like, holy crap, this gun is nice. I mean, I'm hitting all the steel on those shots. Granted, I didn't do super long range steel, but it was hitting. And then I kind of, you know, these two extremes kind of bounce out. Like, I didn't like it at the range. I did like it in the desert. And here we come to a middle ground. And that's kind of where I am with the P308. And my likability scale will totally show that, by the way. Field strip, we did it. It's pretty much standard. And I've said this since 2008, dudes. The dirt goes somewhere, the carbon goes somewhere. It's just going to come up here to the front end. Everyone brags about how clean the bolt carrier group is. I'm like, I don't give a crap. I'm either cleaning up here or cleaning back there. It doesn't matter. Piston systems generally don't impress me. It's just like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. The only time I really don't like a piston is when it vents on my hand. It's super hot. I did not notice that. I think I was running gloves though. Accessories on this. Well, it is 5/8 to 24 threading on that brake. It is piston, and one thing I do say about piston is if you are going to go suppressed, run a can. Sometimes it's better. You get less particulates blowing through the BCG into your face. If you're going SPR, I kind of like piston. So if you're going to run a can, maybe the POF would be a really good option for you if you don't care about weight. I got to throw that in again. If you don't care about weight. Perhaps throwing the Gym Tech on it would have really settled it down. Maybe, and I kind of wish I had tested with a can because of time. I didn't. Apologize. Maybe you would see 1.5 MOA. 1.5, I should say. Other accessories, it's kind of its own animal. That's a downside to doing this. A lot of them are. I'm not going to say they aren't, including that gun right here, the DD, including the M&P10. It has a lot of proprietary stuff going on. You kind of get that when you choose to run an AR-10 style gun. So you can't just go out and put a different handguard on this. You can't just go out and, you know, change the barrel on it. I don't know why you'd want to other than putting an 18 on there. The furniture is standard AR-15 furniture. We've established that. Accessories, though, just get mags and then a good mount and a good scope. Off to the races you go. Value options, super quick. I've talked about them a lot. I do, in some ways, like the videos to be standalone. I'll rip through them. Sega 308, I don't even think you can find those now. They're around, but that was a really inaccurate gun. That was like 3 to 4 MOA. It sucked bad. M1A is great. The problem with the MOA, and I still have one, by the way, in case you're wondering, it is still in inventory, but I'm running an iron sights. The M1A really doesn't lend itself greatly to optics mounting unless you're running a CAVIM mount, C-A-V-I-M. That is a lightweight mount. It does work. It is kind of a hassle to adjust. I just don't think it's really set up for it. Same could be said for an AK too, by the way. Colt 901, the LE 901-16 SEs, supposedly a caliber exchange option. It's 8.5 pounds naked, 16-inch barrel still, but it's like $800 less than this one retail. Rock Rivers LAR 8, DPMS LR-308 Gen 2. LMT is still out there, I think, with their LWS. It's a little bit more expensive than this. KelTec RFB, not very accurate. Reliable, though. FNAR. Oh, I love that gun. That FN FNAR, that was a freaking cool gun. I don't know why you guys don't go buy that. I mean, if you're going to go buy the weight of this, you should put FNAR on your list, because they're about the same weight. I mean, the FNAR is not light. The magazines are 10 ounces. Smith & Wesson M&P10 all day long, 7.8 pounds naked. It's 5R rifling. It dominates this thing in accuracy with all loads. It's not load specific. It is a DI gun. So far, so good in our testing. LWRC Reaper, H&K MR762, FN17S, and I'm tired of talking. Yeah, so back to the question, which would you get? Which would you think? Between the two guns on the table, not any others like M&P10, the ones I just mentioned. If you said Daniel Defense DD V5V1, congratulate yourself, you are correct. What? And I can't believe you chose that. You talked about how smooth shooting it was. It is smooth shooting. But here's why I say that, and I said it in the review. Seriously, that gun there is fixable. So I'm pretty sure it's a gas port issue on that for the steel. And I'm almost positive I can get that thing running, and it's lighter than this, like substantially lighter than the POF 308. Dude, I mean, for me, these aren't recreational guns. They're not hunting guns. To me, it's like a defensive option, WRL option, heavy hitter. That's kind of what I run these for. I mean, yeah, I'm doing TMP and stuff, but that's some insight, dude. I'm just being honest with you guys. So I'm pretty sure I get the DD V5V1 working A-OK, and that's just between these two guns. You throw some other guns in the mix like M&P10, these both lose.
All hits.
That's just my 2 cents. Thanks for watching. Keep subscribed. Share all my videos on social media platforms. Spread the word.
Steel.
Support me in this very hard work process of the GRVs. Thanks. And by the way, in the description, you'll see my recommended gun store. Please go there. They're supporting TMP, and those names may or may not change through the years. Support them, dude. They're supporting the process, which you benefit from free of charge. And no, I do not get paid from them. Over and